Ancient Athenaeum presents The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. A deep investigative study. By the time H.G. Wells conceived The Invisible Man, he had already mastered the structure of scientific speculation as moral experiment. The time machine had dismantled complacent ideas of progress. The island of Dr. Moreau had exposed the cruelty embedded in scientific detachment. What remained was a more intimate terror. Not society collapsing, not species diverging, but a single human being unbound. Wells wrote The Invisible Man during a period of personal strain and rising notoriety. Success had brought attention, but not peace. His marriage to Isabel Mary Wells was failing. His finances were unstable. He was increasingly suspicious of the Victorian cult of respectability, its politeness, its repression, its insistence on surfaces. Invisibility for Wells was not merely optical, it was social, psychological, and moral. The novel opens not with explanation, but with disturbance. A stranger arrives in the quiet village of Iping, wrapped in bandages, gloved, goggled, his face entirely concealed. He pays promptly. He demands isolation. He bristles at curiosity. Wells chooses a provincial English village for maximum contrast. This is a place defined by observation, gossip, and social surveillance. An invisible man is already a threat here before his condition is even revealed. Griffin, the Invisible Man, is not introduced as a villain. He is introduced as an irritation. This is crucial. Wells does not dramatize invisibility through spectacle. He lets it emerge through absence. A moving chair, a door that opens itself, footsteps without a body. The horror grows gradually, grounded in domestic realism. Wells understood that the uncanny is most effective when it violates the ordinary. When Griffin's story finally emerges, it is framed as confession. He is a medical student, brilliant, resentful, isolated. He discovers a method of altering refractive index, rendering living tissue invisible. This explanation, thin by modern standards, was radical in its tone. Wells avoids magic entirely. Griffin's invisibility is an applied science, born of obsession and secrecy. But the science is not the danger. Griffin becomes invisible and immediately discovers that freedom without accountability is intolerable. He cannot eat publicly. He cannot sleep safely. He cannot interact without risk. Society becomes hostile not because he is evil, but because he is unseeable. Wells anticipates modern anxieties about surveillance, identity, and recognition. To be unseen is not to be free, it is to be erased. As Griffin's isolation deepens, so does his cruelty. He steals, he threatens, he fantasizes about a reign of terror, a world ruled by invisible violence. This is not madness imposed by invisibility, it is character revealed by it. Wells strips away consequences to show what remains when social restraint disappears. Griffin's great failure is not moral alone, it is social. He cannot imagine cooperation. He sees others only as obstacles or tools. Even when he recruits Kemp, an old acquaintance, he cannot sustain trust. Power without empathy collapses into paranoia. The villagers, meanwhile, respond not heroically, but collectively. They watch, they organize, they adapt. Wells subtly reverses expectations. The invisible man is singular and weak. The visible community, when unified, is strong. Griffin's downfall is not the result of genius opposing ignorance, but of ego opposing cooperation. The final chase, Griffin beaten to death by ordinary people, is brutal, ugly, and unglorified. As his body becomes visible again in death, Wells delivers one of his cruelest ironies. Visibility returns only when life leaves him. The ultimate punishment is not execution, but exposure. The Invisible Man is often remembered as a science fiction thriller. But beneath the chase narrative lies one of Wells's darkest propositions: that morality is not innate, and that social structures, flawed though they are all that stand between order and predation. Unlike later invisible figures in fiction, Griffin is not redeemed. Wells refuses the fantasy that power corrupts only slightly. Power, in this novel, unmasks. It removes friction. It accelerates the worst tendencies of an already wounded mind. Published in 1897, the novel unsettled readers because it offered no reassuring lesson. Genius does not save Griffin. Science does not ennoble him. Invisibility does not liberate him. It isolates him. And in Wells's world, isolation is the most dangerous condition of all.